Second audio play பண்ணுவா மேம்.
ப்ளே பண்ணிடுங்க மேம்.
The English we speak.
From BBC Learning English.
Hello and welcome to The English We Speak. With me, Fei Fei.
And me, Roy.
We may sound a little different. That's because we're not able to record in our normal studios during the coronavirus outbreak. There has been a lot of discussion about self-isolation and staying at home. And in this programme, we have an expression to talk about the stress you may feel in that situation.
That's right, Fei Fei. Today we're going to talk about cabin fever.
Cabin fever is the reaction to feeling trapped or isolated in a building for too long. It can be really stressful. This expression probably comes from people being trapped and not able to leave a small wooden house known as a cabin. They may not have been able to leave due to the extreme weather conditions like a snowstorm, as these buildings are often found on mountains or hills.
People can become sad, restless, and even lack concentration. They may also get food cravings, which in turn may lead to weight changes.
That's right, it's a really serious thing and it can cause you to suffer from anxiety.
Which is why we're going to tell you some things that experts say you can do to help you cope with cabin fever.
Yes, we'll let you know right after these examples using the words cabin fever.
I started to suffer from cabin fever after I was stuck at home for 2 weeks. Some scientists think that cabin fever is linked to the feeling of claustrophobia, the fear of being in closed places. He said he felt really anxious and that he was suffering from cabin fever after not being able to leave his house. He also said he had gained weight.
This is the English we speak from BBC Learning English, and we're talking about the expression cabin fever, which is the feeling of stress from isolation that some people experience when they stay in a building for an extended time.
But apparently there are some ways you can cope if you're suffering from cabin fever. Aren't there, Fei Fei?
That's right. One of the first things they say to do is to set regular meal times. So kind of like a routine, much like you would have if you were going to work.
Yes, this helps regularity and limits binge eating and weight issues. Also, it's important to try and stimulate your mind.
Things like television are okay for distraction, but they don't overly stimulate you. Something like reading a book may be more interesting and keep your mind active.
Yes, and doing things like puzzles or crosswords can also help. I really enjoy doing quizzes online. Also, you should make sure your friends and families are coping if they are in the same situation.
Absolutely. A phone call to someone to check on them may really help them, and you can also give them the same advice we're giving you now. Finally, it's important to set goals. Try to achieve things in your day to keep you focused. You could even make weekly goals depending on how long your isolation will be for.
Hey, why not try writing a book?
That's an idea. Bye, Roy.
Bye.
The English we speak.
From BBC Learning English.
So now you listen to 2 audios, and each audio it run exactly for 5 minutes. The first audio, it was a song from the Tamil movie, and the second audio, it is a audio clip from the BBC English news channel. Now I think you would have been able to sense the difference between hearing and listening. The first audio that you heard, the song that you heard, the process is called hearing. The second audio, the process involved is listening. In the first audio, I feel like most of them here would have their mother tongue as Tamil. In that case, hearing is totally involuntary. You didn't take any effort from your side, or you didn't stress yourself to hear the song. I personally feel that you must have enjoyed hearing to the song, and it has happened very automatically without taking any stress on you, and it is a passive process. The listener actually plays a passive part. It is a one-way process. Coming up to the second audio clip, a listening clip from the BBC News channel. It is voluntary. Now, naturally, English is a non-native language for all of us. We are all non-native speakers of English. So here, listening is voluntary. You put in a little extra effort. You compel yourself to listen to what is being said. It requires conscious efforts. It is an active process. These are the two main types of listening: active listening, passive listening. Active listening, active process comes under listening. Passive, you're passive while you hear. And in listening, the listener plays a very active role, active part. This is the basic difference between hearing and listening. The next topic is types of listening. There are 6 types of listening. I list them down one after the other. The first type is superficial listening. Superficial listening. In this type of listening, the listener has little awareness of the content of what is being said. The output in this type of listening is zero. Superficial அப்படின்னா தமிழ்ல மேலோட்டமா காதுல வாங்கின மாதிரி இருக்கும், ஆனா எதுவுமே வாங்கியிருக்க மாட்டாங்க. அதான் சூப்பர்ஃபிஷியல். எல்லாம் பேசி முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன சொன்னாங்க அப்படின்னா தெரியாது. They do not know. என்ன பேசினாங்க அப்படின்னு நீங்க கேட்டீங்கன்னா அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. They will not be able to reply. That's why the output in this type of listening, in this type of superficial listening, is zero. Why the output is zero? Because the listener has totally ignored the message, the main message, and he or she has not concentrated on the theme of the talk, on the main points of the talk, or on the supporting details of the talk, of the message. That is superficial listening. Second type of listening is appreciative listening. Appreciative listening is hearing a song, listening to a song, stories, anecdotes. Someone shares his or her personal experiences, stories, jokes. When you listen, you really appreciate. You have such a type of listening for enjoyment, for pleasure. You do it for the sake of enjoyment and pleasure. The output may be taking part in the entertainment process. For example, a music lover may listen to the latest hit song, pick up the chorus and tune and try to sing along. That's called appreciative listening. So you naturally listen to the song again and again. You repeat. That's called appreciative listening. The third type of listening is focused listening. Focused listening involves you listen in order to get a specific information, to gather or to gain a specific information. So you get the specific information in order to make a decision, in order to decide on something. Now an example that I could give you for this type, the third type of listening, specific listening, is listening to the radio, or maybe listening to a television program, listening to railway and airport announcements. These are all examples. So the third type. Fourth is evaluative listening. Evaluative listening. Evaluative listening involves evaluation of the oral message, and you develop a line of thought. The listener interprets and analyzes what he or she has listened in order to understand both the explicit as well as the implicit meaning of the oral message. Say, for example, you give a structured talk or a classroom lecture or a workshop or a seminar. This is all evaluative listening. You do it in order to evaluate. The fifth type of listening is attentive listening. Attentive listening is this type of listening demands the complete attention of the speaker, of the listener. It demands the complete attention of the listener. It is basically active and intelligent listening in situations such as, say, group discussions, meetings, jobs, interviews, and so on. So there is nothing called selective dismissal in this type of listening. You cannot remain passive, or you cannot omit certain things. You need to pay attention to the entire content of the message. You have to be alert throughout. Some other examples that I can give you for attentive listening is phone calls, important telephone calls, administrative instructions. These are all some examples. The last type of listening is empathetic. Empathetic listening is a listening to a speaker's feelings, emotions, and state of mind. Maybe the speaker has lost his or her loved one recently. So they naturally lament over the death of the person. So when you listen, you're empathetic. You put yourself in their shoes. You try to understand their plight. So these are the 6 types of listening. Next, we will have 3 different videos that concentrate on the significance of listening. You will have 3 videos being played one after the other. You can see as to how listening is being treated in each video. Over to Shanti, ma'am.
இங்க வாங்கல. என்ன மாப்ள? கொஞ்சம் கடையை பாத்துங்க. மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு போய் சாமான் வாங்கிட்டு போயிட்டு வாங்க. அடேங்கப்பா, தங்கச்சி மாப்ள கடையை நல்லா தான் வச்சிருக்கேன். இன்னைக்கு ஒரே நாள்ல வியாபாரத்தை கத்துக்கிட்டு போய் நம்ம ஊர்ல தெருப்புற 4-5 மளிகை கடையை வச்சு விட்ட வேண்டியதான்.
கடைக்கு புதுசா
பழசா இருந்தா மட்டும் என்ன பண்ண போற?
மேம் வீடியோ வரலையா மேம்? ஆமாடாமா.
இங்க வாங்கல. என்ன மாப்ள? கொஞ்சம் கடையை பாத்துங்க. மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு போய் சாமான் வாங்கிட்டு போயிட்டு வாங்க. அடேங்கப்பா, தங்கச்சி மாப்ள கடையை நல்லா தான் வச்சிருக்கேன். இன்னைக்கு ஒரே நாள்ல வியாபாரத்தை கத்துக்கிட்டு போய் நம்ம ஊர்ல தெருப்புற 4-5 மளிகை கடையை வச்சு விட்ட வேண்டியதான்.
கடைக்கு புதுசா
பழசா இருந்தா மட்டும் என்ன பண்ண போற?
இல்லையா, இதுக்கு முன்னால பார்த்தது இல்லையேன்னு கேட்டேன்.
முன்னாடி பார்த்தா மட்டும் என்ன பண்ண போற?
யோ முன்ன
கேக்குதா இப்போ?
யோ முன்ன பின்ன பார்த்ததே இல்லைன்னு கேட்டையா?
பின்னாடி பார்த்தா மட்டும் என்ன பண்ணுவ?
ஆஹா, நம்ம கிட்ட நம்ம கிட்டே போடுறேன். ஆரம்பிச்சிட வேண்டியதான்.
என்ன வேணும்?
என்ன வேணும்?
என்ன வேணும்?
என்ன வேணும்?
என்னதான் வேணும்?
என்னதான் வேணும்?
நீ கடைக்காரனா நான் கடைக்காரனா?
நீதான்.
அப்ப நான் தானே கேட்கணும்.
ஆமா.
என்ன வேணும்?
என்ன வேணும்?
என்னதான் வேணும்?
என்னதான் வேணும்?
ஏன் காலங்காத்தால இப்படி வறுத்தெடுக்கிற?
இன்னும் வறுத்தெடுக்கவே இல்ல.
ஐயோ, வறுத்தெடுக்காம என்ன வேணும்னு கேளியா?
வறுத்தெடுக்கிறதுக்கு தான் என்ன வேணும்னு கேட்டேன்.
நீ என்ன கேட்ட?
என்னதான் கேட்டேன்.
ஓ, நீ என்ன கேட்டியா?
உன்னையாவே கேட்டான்.
ஏயா குழப்பற? நீ இந்த எண்ணெய் தானே கேட்ட? அப்புறம் என்ன முதல்ல சொல்ல வேண்டியா? வந்த உடனே ஏதோ இட விடமா பேசிட்டா அதுக்கு இப்படி ஐயா பம்படிக்கிறது? என்ன வேணும் சொல்லியா? எந்த எண்ணெயா வேணும்?
கடலெண்ணெய்.
அப்படி சொல்ல வேண்டியதானே.
இது நல்லெண்ணெயா?
நீ முதல்ல கடலெண்ணெய் தானே கேட்ட?
ஆமா.
அப்புறம் என்ன?
இல்ல நல்லெண்ணெயான்னு கேட்டேன். சுத்தமான நல்லெண்ணெயான்னு கேட்டியா? சுத்தமான.
அப்படி கேட்டியா? சத்தியமா சுத்தமான நல்லதாப்பா.
அப்ப ஊத்து. இது கடலெண்ணெய் தானே?
எனக்கு டிக்கெட் எடுத்து கொடுங்க. இனிமே பாடி.
All we gotta do is listen. All we gotta do is listen. All we gotta do is listen. All we gotta do is listen.
Hello, Mr. Simpson. Do you have a few minutes? I need to talk to you about something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Great. Well, I am having a problem with an employee. She wasn't being very professional.
Who is she?
We were
What's
talking.
her name?
Please, can you not interrupt me until I finish telling the story?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. So, this coworker, this employee that I work with, she was working on this agenda with me, and she wanted to add certain things in the agenda that I didn't think were appropriate. Are you listening to me?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You seem like you're very distracted.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I need your advice because she got upset with me when I told her I didn't want to have something in the agenda, and I didn't know.
Sorry, is that a spider?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to kill that later.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So, I don't know how to deal with her. And I feel like she's getting very upset with me, and you aren't giving me any eye contact.
Sorry.
I'm just going to have to find somebody else who could help me.
Well, I can help. I'm sorry. I'll wait.
And I can't tell you the number of times that I've had people sit in front of me, husbands and wives, parents and children, bosses, people that are co-workers, sitting in front of me and saying, I've got a real complaint about this relationship. And I'll ask them, what's the complaint? And they'll tell me, they don't listen to me. My wife never listens to me. My husband never listens to me. My kids, they never listen to me. I've had kids, teenagers tell me, my parents don't listen to me. I try to explain things to them, they just won't listen to me. I've had church members come in and say, hey, this person at church, they won't listen to me. I've had ministry leaders tell me that people in their ministry teams won't listen to them. This is a complaint that is heard around the world in every single relationship. Every one of us have complained about this at some time or another. Have you? Have you ever complained about this before? In your own relationship? Don't look at them right now. Got people over here that are looking out the side of their eye going, you know, it's like the guy that went to the
Karthiga, ma'am.
And he was complaining about his wife. And
Karthiga, ma'am, இது clear-ஆ இல்ல, இத skip பண்ணிடலாமா? Karthiga, ma'am. நீங்க unmute பண்ணிட்டு start பண்ணுங்க.
Okay.
அது clear-ஆ இல்ல, அது volume ஒண்ணும் clear-ஆ இல்ல. நீங்க start
Okay,
பண்ணுங்க.
okay, ma'am, that's okay. So now you came across two videos. Video 1 அப்படின்றதுல now that is what I told you in the stages, in the process of listening. It comes to stage 2, encoding. The listener doesn't decode or interpret the message properly. அந்த வீடியோல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரெண்டு பேருமே வந்து தமிழ் தான் பேசுறாங்க. Both of them they talk only in mother tongue, and it is a face-to-face communication. It's not over the phone, it's not over the computer, no, it's not over the tab. எதுவுமே கிடையாது. நேரா நின்னு பக்கத்துல கடையில தான் பேசுறாங்க. அப்படி இருந்தும் அந்த என்னன்றதுல வந்து நிறைய டிஃபரன்ஸ் வருது. அப்புறம் கடலெண்ணெய் நல்லெண்ணெய் இதுலயும் இன்னொரு டிஃபரன்ஸ் வருது. So this is how the process of listening gets influenced because of social, cultural, educational, professional backgrounds. These are the same word with the same pronunciation. அதனால வர ஒரு confusion, misunderstanding between the two people. In the second video we can witness the boss who is not showing any interest. He is not interested in what the woman on the other side is talking. He expresses his it is very clear that he is not interested in what she is talking, or he is not listening to what she is talking through various things. He looks at the door, he finds a spider, he says he's sick, and all those factors come up. I will move on to the activity for today. Hope you all have the worksheet in your hand, or you must have had the song in your hand. We will have the song being played now. The song will be played for you. You can first listen. You need not go work on the worksheet during your first listening. We will have 2 times. The audio will be played twice. During the first listening, just listen, sit back and enjoy the song. Second listening, you'll have a few gaps here and there in the song in your worksheet. You have to listen to the song and you have to fill in the gaps. So the song can be played. Over to Shanti ma'am.
Karthika ma'am, can you hear me? ஆடியோ கேக்கல?
மைல்டா கேக்குது மேம். இப்போ இட்ஸ் ரன்னிங் அட் தி பேக். யா. இப்போ ப்ளே ஆச்சே மேம்.
ப்ளே ஆகுது மேடம், அது சவுண்ட் கிளியரா இல்ல.
Show me what love is, be my guiding star. It's easy, take me to your heart. Standing on a mountain high.
Ma'am, if you have any technical problem, shall we send the link to the participants, ma'am?
But I won't let go. Looking at a crowded street, listening to my own.
Okay, va?
Around the world. Give me your hand before I'm old. Hiding from the rain and snow, trying to forget, but I won't let go. Looking at a crowded street, listening to my own heartbeat. So many people tell me where to like you go. Take me to your heart, take me to your soul. Give me your hand, oh, show me what lovers haven't got a clue. Show me that be true. They say nothing lasts forever. We're only here today. Bring me far away. Take me to your heart. Take me to. Be my guiding star. It's easy. Take me.
Jaishree ma'am, we can send this song to the participants if you
Yes,
want to.
ma'am. Maybe I'll post it in the group.
Yeah, sure.
I'll give a recap of the session, ma'am.
Yes, please.
So today, for the listening skill, started up with giving the definition of listening, the various stages involved in the listening process, the 4 stages: sensing, encoding, evaluation, and response. Then through 2 audios, we came to know the difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is involuntary. It happens very automatically and it is a passive process. Whereas listening is voluntary. It requires conscious efforts and it is an active process. Then the 6 major types of listening were jotted down: superficial, appreciative, focused, evaluative, attentive, and empathetic. After which we saw 2 videos that concentrated on the significance of listening. And then there's an activity on listening. So once the session is over, I'll send the link of this song. It is an English song. It's a very famous song. Listen to My Heart. You can try to listen to the song without watching the video. Only that can be effective. Now that is real listening. You can, for the first listening, when it is played for the first time, You can, as I told you, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the song. For the second time when you listen, you can make use of the worksheet, try to fill in the gaps. And once the song is over, you will have a few vocabulary below the worksheet. You can also work on them. Now, this could be a homework. So after you finish, you can post your maybe feedback to my number, if possible. Thank you. Thank you for the session. And for the tomorrow's session, it is speaking. Speaking, the topic is how to overcome stage fear, stage fright. So before you take up the session, kindly finish the activity that I told you yesterday for speaking. Take up it is a pair work, as I told you, with your partner. You can give a random topic and you can try to speak on that particular topic in English, at least for the maximum of 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaishree ma'am. Now I open the audience chat. Can you please engage with them for 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Participants, you can chat with the resource person now. One by one, please.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Ma'am, you can speak. Jayanti ma'am, you can speak.
என்னோட நம்பர் வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்ல இல்ல மேம், அதனால என்னால ஒன்னும் ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியல.
ஓகே, நான் இப்போ வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப் லிங்க் உங்களுக்கு நான் அதே குரூப்ல சாட்ல ஷேர் பண்றேன். அதுல அப்படியே கிளிக் பண்ணி ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. யாரெல்லாம் வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
ப்ளீஸ் சென்ட்
sure.
லிங்க்.
Ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, Jaishree ma'am. Hello.
Good evening, Jaishree ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
In the beginning, I didn't get the link properly. Can you repeat the starting classes of today?
Starting, you mean the definition of listening, ma'am?
Yeah, 4 stages, something you said, no definition, and what is that, ma'am? I missed the class. Before 6 types, from 6 types I started listening. What happened previously?
Many participants, Shanti ma'am, many participants come up with this issue, ma'am. This video will be posted, right?
And also the song, I didn't hear it properly. Even her phone number.
We can post. What she is asking for is the consolidation of the session. You just start from that definition and end with this one, listening process. That's enough. With the remaining thing, we can share in the WhatsApp.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
This was a wonderful session. You just went deep into listening. I just have a doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference? How to use the term hearing and listening? Suppose I listen to a song, I'm involved passively. I don't take any stress listening to the song, but still I use the word, I listen to the song instead of using the word hearing.
When you hear a song for no purpose, just for the sake of enjoyment or for pleasure, you don't use the word listen at all.
Okay.
You cannot use the word listen at all.
Listening process.
You can use only the word hear.
I heard a song. Can we use? I heard a song.
Yeah, I heard a song. I'm hearing a song.
Okay.
I heard a song yesterday. Okay. But when you listen to a song for some purpose, apart from the purpose of enjoyment and apart from the purpose of pleasure, as I told you, for example, a music lover may listen to the latest hit, pick up the chorus and tune and try to sing along. Hey, you are participating in a singing competition. So naturally, you will hear the song again and again. You'll repeat it. Appa, you're not hearing. You're doing it for a purpose. So naturally, that is listening. There you can use the word listen. There you cannot use the word hear. You're able to find the difference?
Yes, ma'am. Very clear. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello. This is Preeti.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, I wanted to ask one thing. Suppose if a speaker he tries to tell something or give an instruction, but that person purposely understands but does not follow it, then what type of listening would you tell it?
Can you repeat your question?
Suppose a speaker gives an instruction,
Okay.
but the listener understands it properly but does not follow it. Okay, like a teacher
Is
tells
there
the
any
students
difference
to.
between listening and following?
No, if
There is a
listening.
difference between listening and understanding.
Yeah, understanding. If the person understands it but does not do what the speaker wants to convey, then what
That is
type
the
of
problem
listening?
of the listener. That is not the problem of the speaker. In that case, what you are saying is அந்த இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷனை ஃபாலோ பண்ணல அப்படிதானே சொல்றீங்க?
ஆமா, ரைட். எஸ் எஸ்.
அது லிசனரோட பிரச்சனை. அது வந்து ஸ்பீக்கரோட ப்ராப்ளம் கிடையாது.
ஓகே 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 ஓகே. தேங்க் யூ மேம்.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. சொல்லுங்க.
Ma'am, I have doubt in type of listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Attentive, what is, I can't understand empathetic listening, ma'am.
Empathetic listening புரியலையா ma'am? Ma'am, empathetic listening அப்படின்றது imagine that your friend has lost her mother. சரியா?
Okay, ma'am.
Visit her after some time, say after 10 days or 15 days. Naturally அவங்க எப்படி பேசுவாங்க? என்ன மாதிரி டாபிக் நீங்க பேசுவீங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் மீட் பண்ணும்போது?
She will share her sorrows.
எங்க அம்மா வந்து இப்படி பண்ணாங்க அப்படி பண்ணாங்க. It is all lamenting. சரியா? அது வந்து ஒரு empathetic. Empathetic அப்படின்ற வார்த்தை என்னன்னா, there is a difference between the word sympathy and empathy. Sympathy அப்படின்றது it's pity. பாவப்படுறது, பரிதாபப்படுறது. சரியா? அதான் sympathy. Empathy அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு அழகான இடியம் இருக்கு இங்கிலீஷ்ல. To wear someone's shoes அப்படின்றாங்க. To wear someone's shoes. ஒருத்தவங்களோட இடத்துல இருந்து அவங்க எப்படி கஷ்டப்படுறாங்க அப்படின்றத நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிறது. That is empathy. So empathetic hearing அப்படின்றது அவங்க அம்மா இறந்துட்டாங்க, இப்ப நம்ம அம்மா இறந்தா நமக்கு எப்படி இருக்கும்?
We will be very sad.
Yeah, we will be very sad. அந்த லெவலுக்கு நம்ம யோசிச்சு அவங்க சொல்றத கேக்குறது தான். That is called empathetic listening. You feel empathize. You empathize with the person. You empathize with your friend, and you listen to what she is saying. You listen to all her maybe feelings, emotions, and you maybe you are totally in tune with her state of mind.
Yeah.
புரியுதுங்களா?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. சொல்லுங்க.
Ma'am, in the types of listening, classroom lecture needs complete attention தானே ma'am?
Classroom lecture, ஆமா ma'am.
அப்ப அதை நம்ம evaluative சொல்லலாம், attentive சொல்லலாம் தானே ma'am?
Classroomல ஆனா எல்லாமே கவனிக்கிறாங்களா ma'am?
அது focused on the listener தானே?
மோஸ்ட்லி நடக்கிறது இல்ல மேம். அதாவது என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா 20 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு மேல ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸால வந்து லிசன் பண்ண முடியாது. அது எந்த ஹியூமன் பீயிங்கா இருக்கட்டும், ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் கிடையாது. 20 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு மேல இப்ப நீங்களே இருக்கீங்க 1 hour செஷன், நிறைய விஷயங்கள் கவனிக்காம இருந்திருப்பீங்க, அதான் உண்மை. 20 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு மேல வந்து ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸால கவனிக்க முடியாது மேம். அதனால கிளாஸ் ரூம் லெக்சர்ன்றது இவாலுவேட்டிவ் கீழ தான் வருமே தவிர அட்டென்டிவ்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. ஏதோ ஒரு அவசியம் இருக்கும் போதுதான் நீங்க அட்டென்டிவா இருக்கீங்க 1 மணி நேரமும். அதனால உங்களுக்கு ஒரு தேவைன்னு வைங்களேன், இது எனக்கு கவனிச்சா எனக்கு ஒரு 100 மார்க் வரும் அப்படின்னா you naturally become attentive.
Otherwise it will be evaluative.
ஆமாப்பா.
Fine, thank you ma'am.
Thank you ma'am.
Hello.
Yes sir.
Good evening ma'am.
Good evening sir.
Ma'am, today you played 2 audios.
Yes sir.
The video ma'am, that bad listening, no ma'am?
Yes sir.
One person, what shall we do ma'am if someone listener is not ready to speeches? What shall we do at that time?
அந்த வீடியோ என்ன பண்ணாங்களோ அதான் சார் செய்ய முடியும். வீடியோல அவங்க மேடம் என்ன செஞ்சாங்களோ that's what we will do.
Is there any other way ma'am? She went simply. Any other way ma'am?
So even before we start sharing our information or ideas, we must take a decision. No, we must come to a conclusion if the person is a good listener. அதை தெரிஞ்சிட்டு போய் பேசணும்.
Oh, okay ma'am.
Yes sir.
Ma'am, can you explain the difference between focused and attentive listening?
You want me to explain attentive listening
and focus? What is the difference between focused and attentive? Both are looking like the same.
அப்படின்றது வந்து you listen to information ma'am.
Focused is listening information.
Specific information.
Yes, ma'am.
ஒரு ஸ்பெசிபிக் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் உங்களுக்கு வேணும்.
Yeah.
அதுக்காக நீங்க லிசன் பண்றீங்க. எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து ரயில்வே அனௌன்ஸ்மெண்ட்ஸ், ஏர்போர்ட் அனௌன்ஸ்மெண்ட்ஸ், ட்ரெயின் எப்ப வருது, ஃபிளைட் எப்ப ரீச் ஆகும், எத்தனை மணிக்கு ரீச் ஆகும், ஃபிளைட் டிலேயா, இதெல்லாம் நீங்க ரொம்ப கூர்ந்து கவனிப்பீங்க. அந்த ஒரு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் மட்டும் தான் கவனிப்பீங்க.
Goal oriented.
தேவையான இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் மட்டும் தான் கவனிப்பீங்க.
It may be a goal oriented one.
எஸ். என்ன சொல்ல போனா ஸ்கேன் பண்ற மாதிரி. ரீடிங்ல வந்து எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா அது ஸ்கேனிங்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஆனா அட்டென்டிவ் அப்படின்றது த்ரூ அவுட்டா ஒரு அரை மணி நேரம் பேசுறாங்கன்னா the entire half an hour you are alert, you are attentive, you don't dismiss anything, you don't omit anything.
Thank you.
Different புரியுதா ma'am? Yes ma'am, thank you.
This is not scanning.
Which is not scanning? Attentive is not scanning. No ma'am, attentive is not scanning.
Ma'am, good evening ma'am.
Good evening ma'am.
Ma'am, focused listening, attentive listening, and ரெண்டு listeningலுமே we do evaluate, we form an idea. How this differs from evaluative listening? Because
evaluative listening is, say you present a paper in a seminar or a conference. Okay, the judge is listening to you.
Okay.
You read the paper for say exactly 15 minutes. On the 15 minutes mein what do? They listen. The judge listens to you. There is no assurance that the judge will be listening to you for the entire 15 minutes. Starting la ஒரு 3 minutes கவனிக்கலாம், நடுவுல ஒரு 3 minutes கவனிக்கலாம், நீங்க முடிக்கும் போது ஒரு 3 minutes கவனிக்கலாம். இந்த 3 minutes அங்கங்க 9 minutes totally எதுக்குப்பா கவனிக்கிறாங்க? எதுக்கு மேம் கவனிக்கிறாங்க? Why are they listening to you? They are evaluating your paper.
Okay ma'am, okay.
Okay, they are evaluating. This is called evaluative listening. So this happens in a workshop, in a seminar, in a conference, in a tutorial, in a workshop. இதெல்லாமே நடக்குது.
Okay, okay ma'am, thank you.
Yes ma'am, thank you.
Participants, we are going to wind up the session now. I have another.
Hello.
நாளைக்கு நம்ம கண்டினியூ பண்ணலாமா?
Good evening ma'am. Only one question ma'am. The two words empathy and sympathy, no?
Yes ma'am.
எனக்கு ஒரே ஒரு இது டவுட் மேம். இந்த எம்பத்தி அந்த வேர்டை யூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் சொல்லுங்க மேம். அதை நம்ம பிராக்டிக்கல் லைஃப்ல யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது அந்த வேர்டை யூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ்.
உங்களுக்கு டிஃபரன்ஸ் புரிஞ்சிருச்சா மேம்?
புரிஞ்சுது மேம். நீங்க அந்த மேம்க்கு நீங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணீங்களா?
இப்ப நான் சொன்னேன் எப்படி